Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is June 13th, and I wanted to just share with you what it's like in New York City right now. I think the media has um, an interest in selling us all these scary moments, not to downplay like how horrible COVID is, but I'll share with you my experience of COVID. So, walking around, it's pretty empty. It's interesting. I kind of like it though. It's very peaceful. Um, I was speaking with the doorman. So I live in Midtown East in Manhattan, and some of the doormen don't even have masks. And I think a lot of you may be like, "Oh my God, well that's just irresponsible." Well, I think everyone is entitled to doing whatever they please, and like I guess I'm fortunate enough that I don't know anyone who has died from COVID yet. But a lot of my friends have had it, and yeah, it wasn't that bad for them. A couple of my friends, it was a bit worse. But I think at a higher level, if I was to get context, I think if we all focused more on our health and well-being, whether it's just exercising for 30 minutes a day or just eating a little bit healthier, I honestly think that we would have a higher immunity towards this stuff. But yeah, I've been walking around a lot, with my mask on. For the most part, when there's no one in sight, sometimes I'll take it off just so I could breathe better. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I personally haven't seen any protests yet, and I've walked all of Manhattan multiple times, so I personally haven't seen any protests yet. I do see a ton of cops everywhere. So yeah, it's been interesting, and it's interesting because the cops don't even have masks on as well a lot of times. Um, so how dangerous and how serious is this COVID thing? Who knows, right? I think all of us are scared, and this is a radical concept for many. And this is just my opinion, but I think honestly, if we were just to focus on our health and I think actually the lack of social interaction is probably more detrimental to society than the actual like holding people out. I think obviously for roles that you can work at home, like for my job, you really don't need to meet people. But I do think society, we need human interactions, and without that, people go through depression, and I think more people die from depression than they would from this COVID thing. So who knows? That's just my radical opinion. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you all what's going on in New York City. So I'm gonna walk Central Park today. I'm going to Target to grab some stuff. Um, there's been a lot of restaurants opening back up to get takeout. A lot of people are hanging out at the bar scene. I think that's great because I think the more we isolate, I think actually is more detrimental to the human race. This is coming from someone who's extremely social, so maybe that's just my opinion. But I think I've been around enough people to see the impact of isolation and what that does for you. I think there's a silver lining to everything. And for instance, this time has helped me really focus on my fitness, and I've actually never been stronger, in my opinion. We've been working out a lot every day, and yeah, it's helped me work on a lot of passion projects. Been working on my podcast, up to episode 54, just released today. Conversation about race, and this is episode 40 for my other podcast. That's sort of like a journal, a diary entry to the public. So 94 episodes just through the podcast, and actually a decent chunk. I would say half of it is because of this COVID thing. So there's a silver lining to everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please ping me if there's anything that you want me to discuss about. Always open to suggestions. That's where I get some of the best ideas. And yeah, hit me up. Let me know if you want to join my podcast sometime. Would love to get more interesting guests, or if there's anyone who you would want me to interview, please reach out. Cheers.